The farm is the most hazardous workplace in all of Ireland, with 14 people losing their lives in Irish farms this year so far. To drive this figure down, we need real behavioural change.
So it's just think before you do anything. Don't just expect the quietest cow in the field to stay quiet while you walk in and pull a calf out of her. She's of course going to be hormonal and is going to do any number of things.
Hormones at work, he gets territorial at certain points in the year, so we should never ever drop our guard around these animals, be it a bull working in the field or cows at calving that might otherwise seem calm for the rest of the year. Always carry a stick, always know how you're going to get away if things go bad.
Always put your safety first before doing anything on the farm.
So please ensure your farm facilities are not only efficient but safe, be it a robust crush, a well-designed calving gate or adequate loading facilities.
Because they're used to me and associate me in a positive manner, they are calmer and therefore easier to handle.
All bulls are potentially dangerous, and to ensure that sufficient handling facilities are on farm, such as a crush, and to ensure that all bulls are fitted with a ring and chain and that a mobile sanctuary is provided for when herding. Thanks.
And make sure that at least 2 animals, like 2 cows, are kept between myself and the bull at all time, just to keep a safe distance. And I'm always also super aware of if the bull does turn around and decide to go for me, that I want to be near a fence or near a gate, that I can get myself out the way if things do turn bad.
Remember to keep an up-to-date farm safety risk assessment, or if you have more than 3 employees on your farm, you'll need a farm safety statement.
Over 20% of farm accidents or deaths are involving children. It's not a playground, okay?
Almost half our farm fatalities involve young children and older farmers. Please ensure that your farm equipment and farmyard are of a high safety standard.
This Farm Safety Week, we are urging all farmers, but especially young farmers, to be mindful when using technology on their farms.
Identify the risk and come up with the solution to help prevent the likes of young children and visitors coming to your farm who are not aware of the potential risk and dangers, prevent them from having an accident on your farm. So think first and think safety.
Please, to all parents I would say, and to everyone driving machinery, that they take care of children crossing roads or don't have children near machinery.
So it's really important before you do a job to take your time, look at the dangers around you, especially when there are children and machinery involved.
Having your kids on the farm safely, separated, following all the guidelines, they can learn, they can enjoy the farm environment. It mightn't be exactly the same as it was when we were growing up, but it will be safe.
It is imperative that farmers recognise age-related risk factors such as fitness, flexibility, mobility, hearing, sight and health when managing safety on the farm.
Protect those who have looked after us. They knew our limits at a young age. Now we must recognise their limits at an older age.
Safety Week, I ask you all to take the same time to look after yourselves, especially when handling livestock, which can be unpredictable and dangerous at times.
And if there's no help available, then don't do it. Don't put your life at risk. I've met too many people, too many families who've been devastated by the loss of an elderly loved one. And think of those today. Think of those who would be so hurt by your loss.
Falls from heights are a major cause of accidents on farms. Simple things like climbing up on bales to repair damaged plastic can have significant risk. Take the bale down and repair at ground level if possible.
As quite often, falls from height results in serious accidents. When working at heights, we should risk assess the job and ask ourselves, are we competent and do we have the right equipment?
Anybody can drive fast, but it takes skill to drive safely. Modern tractors have increased in size and weight and speed. It takes 4 times the energy to stop a tractor-trailer combination like this than one of 20 years ago. We need to drive carefully in the fields, to be careful of slopes and uneven surfaces. We need to be careful in the yard, where we have lots of blind spots around the tractor that makes them dangerous. But we need to be particularly careful on the road.
Very much aware in these few weeks that the harvest has begun, second cut silage is coming in. The amount of activity on the road is absolutely immense.
Key to prevention include training, good maintenance and safe work practices. Young or old, male or female, everybody is at risk.
Half of all farm-related deaths are machinery-related.
Always maintain your machinery and keep your PTO shaft covered.
Here is one livestock farm safety measure we have put in place on our farm, which is especially used during calving season.
We need to handle the cow to check if she's having a normal delivery, or if we need to give her a little bit of assistance at calving time, that the cow is fully secured, so that reduces the risk to us when we're working with the cow at calving time.
Remember, keep your dog on a lead at all times, because that loose dog may cause the animals distress, or worse still, they may end up chasing you and your loose dog, cause you harm.
As wearing a high-vis jacket while out in your farms, particularly around heavy machinery, on the quad or moving your cattle, could save a life.
Here to be milked for the first time for something to spook her. She ended up running straight through me. I ended up flat on my back, lying here, and luckily she didn't walk on top of me. She's very quiet, it hasn't happened again, and I ended up the one coming out the worst with fractured ribs. Dairy farmers and all farmers in general are very good at looking after and making sure their animals don't get hurt or visitors to the farm. But we need to start looking after ourselves as well. We never think we're going to be the ones to get hurt until we are the ones that are hurt.
My advice to farmers going out in the morning is when you put on your boots in the morning, make sure that it's you who takes off your boots in the evening, not the paramedic or the undertaker.